Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to your mid-June 2022 General Tarot update. It's Raina here. Let's see. I'm actually going to pick this one. Ta-da! And this is an important card for Virgos. Ooh. Because, you're Pentacles, but you need to hear that message of the Six of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot of Pentacles lately, which is good for all of us, for the collective, the energy of oh, interesting. Okay. First I thought that was the devil, to be honest with you. All right. The heart of the matter is the the Six of Pentacles. And you can see that the person, it's almost like the Two of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite deck. This is called the Cosmic Slumber deck. And, with the Rider-Waite deck, they have the Juggler with the Two of Pentacles. This is like juggling the Six of Pentacles. And yet the person is handing off, or, possibly about to hand off some coins to somebody with outstretched arms. So this is a card of charity, of perhaps helping a family member because you have the money and they don't. Or even in a, personal relationship, if you're the one who is doing better financially, maybe the other your partner's out of work or something like that. And it's one of those things. But in those cases, it's not all very easy because there's that power dynamic that is in play. And sometimes it doesn't work out too well. I just did an astrological analysis of the chart of Laura Nyro, who was a celebrated songwriter in the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, her heyday. And, she had problems with men. One man left her because he couldn't handle the fact that she had more money than he did. And we could look at that 50 years later and say, oh, well, that's crazy. What kind of maybe the men today, the younger men today would be much more like, oh, that's great, My woman makes a lot of money. I'm going to benefit from that. But it was like, that's why we say the term the male ego. In his time, that just, he couldn't feel good about himself. So that might be something that comes up, even if you have the means to help somebody. They may not appreciate it the way that they necessarily should. Perhaps they are, I don't know if I'd say resentful, but they might feel this discomfort about it, about you being the one that, is helping them, because if this is a sibling, they feel sibling rivalry and like they want the money, but by the same token, they might be resentful that they're in that position of dependency. But the reason I said when I was laying out the cards that Virgo needs to really embrace the meaning of this card is because, to me, the ultimate meaning of the Six of Pentacles is about give and take when it comes to energy, because that's what money ultimately is. And so in the workplace, we work, and that's expending energy in exchange for other form of energy known as money. But as we all know, sometimes the energy expended is not met, given in proper measure with the amount that is given back. So there might be this sense of it not being equal. And the person can feel rather resentful that they are not getting what they are worth or what for the work that they're doing. They might feel like they're being taken advantage of. Virgo, though, it's funny because Virgo and Pisces are opposite signs. And there's that common thread of sometimes I feel like sacrifice. But Virgo doesn't play the victim, I think, as much as Pisces. Virgo is more pragmatic about it. If there's a job that needs to be done, you're going to do it. And if there's a role that needs to be filled, you're going to fill it. You don't have enough time to whine about what is fair or unfair. But if you have inner planets and let's say Leo, you might eventually just kind of put your foot down or maybe you just leave and you just do your own thing. But I think this could even be like maybe this is an inheritance or something where this is an inheritance card, but somehow you have the means to give to others. Because in the past position, we have the Nine of Cups, which is associated with it's actually, the funny thing is, I think this card is associated with Pisces, with Jupiter and Pisces, which would be maybe even like for you, that would be your 7th house, and maybe marrying somebody who gives you the kind of lifestyle where you can help your family, and or you just you're willing to give, and maybe there are people who resent you for it because they're like, oh, who does she think she is, But maybe something, this is a card of wish fulfillment, the Nine of Cups. But it's supposed to be, because it's cups, it's supposed to be on the emotional level that you're feeling very satisfied about something, but it can also be financially something lucrative. So something may have happened that has given you that feeling of generosity with the Six of Pentacles. The higher message is the Two of Torches, which is Wands. So you may feel like you're at a crossroads. Let's say that you have, and this can be especially with career matters, let's say that you have gotten some kind of, I was going to say like a bonus or a raise or something like that. But really what I am referring to is maybe you have like a promotion, and that brings with it more money, but maybe it's really not what you're into, or perhaps you have to work longer hours, and so you feel like there's something else that you would rather do, so the money can be that temptation because it's there for you, but you're not quite sure if you want to invest your time and effort into this any longer. So you may feel kind of like on that precipice of something. And so the other thing that the Two of Wands can represent is whether or not to relocate somewhere. And maybe you have the funds to do so, but there's something that's keeping you where you are, and you're just like, okay, what should I do? But it's it's a difficult decision. Well, crosses use the Eight of Pentacles. So let's say that you get an inheritance and all of a sudden you don't need to work anymore. The Eight of Pentacles in the challenged position can mean somebody who is mailing it in, because and you might, that doesn't sound like the typical Virgo person, because the typical Virgo person is pretty I was going to say there's another word I'm going to say the word diligent, but there's another word I'm looking for. And maybe there's just some, I think with the Two of Wands, there might just be that need to break loose, to decide that you're going to, decide on your own freedom. And this is your path, rather than just keep walking a path that may not be for you anymore. Maybe you need more training for some reason to pursue whatever your passion is. What's coming in is the Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, and this can be some kind of actually, more than a message. Pages can be messages, but it also, in this particular context, I think with the Page of Swords, it's more the research that you're doing. So you need to pay attention to something. You need to, in some cases, watch your back. Make sure that other people are not taking advantage. Make sure that you are doing something that where you're stepping into a new path. If the Two of Wands is a choice that you're making at a crossroads, that you're making an informed choice. So you might have to do some research on, like, if somebody's going to move somewhere and they haven't really looked at it from all sides, they may be going into something without properly vetting it. But that doesn't mean, even if you were to do something like that, that doesn't mean that it would be disastrous. It's just that Virgos tend to be very meticulous about these things anyway. And something may be making you impatient, uncharacteristically impatient, and you just want to move on. But if you don't pay attention, you could be missing a lot of the signs of whether or not what it is that you're trying to choose is appropriate for you. The outcome is the Hierophant, and this is a card of the spiritual, the, tuning into that bigger picture of life. Rather than, we have these cards here that are pentacles that are about the earth. And, since we are on the earth, we have to navigate this world. So there's no question that it's important. Sometimes the yogis traditionally would be down on the material energy and be like, you have to transcend that, you can't identify with it. And while I agree with that, I'm heartened to see that the contemporary teachings a lot of times in the spiritual community is about, hey, we're here. We have these bodies. We are in the material world, and we can't overlook that. And I feel like it gives, like, for a grounded mysticism or a grounded spirituality that can benefit us in our daily life. I think that's very important, not just this abstract knowledge, but this information that can be practically applied to our lives. Can you tell I have the moon in Virgo? So anyway, I hope that this resonated. Virgo, if you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.